dive in on this subject tonight, y'all, because I've seen it and I personally got to watch the video recently, right? I'm talking about the T.I. and the Son video. And I get everybody's bashing on the Son, telling the Son what he should not be doing, right? But I believe I have a different take on it. Number one, we got to understand, y'all, when a teenager or a young man or a child is expressing their feelings to a parent, you can't discount that. T.I. heard that young man express himself, how he felt. How can you go and then, like most parents of older generations do as I say, not as I do? You don't question me. I said what I said and put my hands on you. Number two, we have to understand that there is a difference between raising a child and maintaining a child. Let me say that again for most people that do not understand. It's a difference between maintaining a child, getting them a place to sleep, giving them money, no matter how big the house is, and raising them. You can maintain that child by having them the basic needs and necessities they need to exist. But that doesn't mean you raise them physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, even though you had the tools to do so. Most people forget that T.I. is a street guy. And my dad is a street guy, right? Former street guy. A lot of street guys are not great fathers. Let me say it again. A lot of street guys are not great fathers. I never said 100%, but I'm saying a lot of them do struggle to transition from that element that you were to fatherhood. It is a completely different skill set that you have to do to raise that child. So while his son was speaking about how he grew up inside of his family, another thing that we all must understand, each child of the home grows up in a different family. I grew up in a different family than my parents and my siblings did. I grew up in a family where my parents were. I've seen them struggle. We got our first apartment and we got our house. My sisters and them did not see us not having a car. They did not see us struggle through different parts of our life. They only saw my parents as having consistent cars, having consistent money in different times. When King spoke to his mother and his fathers about his belief system, the first thing his mother and father did was, number one, his mother tried to humiliate him. Hey, remember you sucking on your thumb for a long period of time? That's not love. Not saying that he don't deserve to get checked, but in that moment, in front of all those peoples, in front of that camera, you bring up something sensitive that happened to that young man at that one point in time. That told me right there, there's no boundaries with them. Everybody says what they want to say. Everybody throws out their feelings without any concern or worry in the world. Number two, nobody actually talked to this young man about his hood love. Why does he love it so much? As a guy that was a hood baby that grew up in it, that didn't have a lot of money. Whenever I meet young other black men, young men at the time that had that hood mentality, they loved it. The reason why they love the hood mentality is they felt the love. They loved the brotherhood because in their current home, they did not get the love that the hood carried. So it's a fascination with being around the hood element because the love that is in their house is not there. The parents could be working too much. The parents could be out doing so much. So the hood love from other men that look like you, are the same age as you, and around your same intellectual level, that's there. So the hood love is so much stronger when a parent is not actively with them. Like I said in the beginning, there's a difference between raising a child and maintaining the child. A lot of people think, oh, I got money, that's going to help me raise a child. No, that's going to help you maintain the child. Raising a child requires more than that. Remember, a lot of rich kids get strung out on drugs, have emotional issues, and have needs. T.I. went to prison at one point, y'all. We can't forget that. T.I. went to prison for drugs and everything he wanted to do. We know he has multiple kids, not bringing up his background, y'all. Whatever happened was going on. But we must admit that his background must be questioned as a father. For a young man to have no reverence, no fear, not be scared, not be terrified to say anything to that man to his face, that tells me a lot. Until this day, my father had no amount of money close to T.I. I have reverence for him. If I'm around my father, I will not curse. I won't raise my voice. I won't say anything disrespectful because I love him and I know what he's done. That is because he spent the time with me. He made sure to raise me, to teach me the proper things. You can't throw dollars at young men. We don't operate like that. And what we are seeing, even though people don't want to hear it, We focusing on King, but we're not focusing on the difference between money does not solve family problems. We are seeing right now in the Harris household is that young man is speaking out about, I know you real for real, daddy. What he is saying, daddy, that you didn't raise me and you didn't do the things with me. Daddy, I did not feel love at this one point in time. And when he said that to them people and his parents, they ignored his feelings. They ignored what he's saying. Everybody's making a meme. We're making jokes. But on the serious side, it is so many young men that feel that way. And when they express themselves and they tell their frustration, the parents don't listen. Remember, the universe whispers before it yells. So we hear in real time a young man that is going through something emotionally, and he's telling his parents, not in a good moment, right? The timing is never perfect, but he's telling his parents what is going on, and what his parents hear is him going back and forth with them. What they don't want to admit and say is that, you know what? There was some crazy time. What's up, Rob? There was some crazy moments in my life that we could definitely talk about. There was some issues where, daddy, you wasn't a good daddy at one point in time, and that's okay. Mama, the way you talked to me, I didn't need that at one point in time. Mama, I'm a little boy too. Daddy, I'm a little boy too. I need that sensitivity, that love, and that understanding. And nobody's giving that to King. Everybody's saying he's crazy, he's loud, he wants to be hood, but we ain't saying why he want to be hood. We ain't saying why is he loud. We ain't asking why does he feel that way about his daddy. Why does he think he can openly cuss in front of him? Why do you think he can be disrespectful to his parents? Yes, why did he want to go to his grandma's house? Why? He had a big house that he could have stayed at. The question that comes to me is, why did he want to go there? I think it's stability. He wanted somebody that was going to be there, that was going to love him. Home is not where you go to sleep. Home is the people in there that you live with. That's a house that he stayed in, $1 million house that he stayed in. That wasn't a home. We get that confused all the time, is that I bought this home for you. No, home is where you have people that love you, that speak to you, that pour into you. So when that young man was expressing his feelings in real time, everybody got to understand we are seeing child neglect at one point in time. I know we see the adult form of King, but we don't see that child that is speaking to his parents about him not having a loving environment. And as a young man, most people have no idea how young men struggle to speak with their feelings. So we see them speak with their feelings, and the first thing we say is, don't take him serious, man. He just violence. He just acting up. He don't know no better. No, he does know better. And for you at that time, even you are an adult in form, for his father to put his hands on you when you are saying something that goes against what he wants to hear, that's eye-opening to me. We see all those terms and those words about the elder generation breaking a generational curse. Was that not a generational curse we saw just now? Was that not a generational curse that we saw, that a young man expressed himself and his parents told him he don't need to say nothing else? You don't have to agree with my opinion, what I'm saying, y'all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not here to defend King. He got his own issues he got to deal with. But the guy's 20 years old? Tell me a young man that's under 20 years old know how to emotionally communicate properly, that knows how to disagree or have a conversation with the emotions high. None of us know how to do that. But we just see the jokes coming out, but we're not seeing the real story of, hey, this guy had the ideal money that everybody wants, but he wasn't a father. The mother had the ideal money the mother wants, but they weren't good parents to him. And he's saying that. He's saying it, but most people are afraid to have that conversation because that's uncomfortable for a lot of parents, because money does not mean you raise the kid right. Time, love, attention, nurturing, being there for them means you raise them correctly. And in King, even though he did not explain it correctly, even though he has the hood mantra, he's trying to seek love. I think of this, y'all. I was, first generation college students, went to college on my own. I never understood why most brothers that went to colleges, specifically HBCUs, wanted to join fraternity. They were looking for love and brotherhood. I had siblings, I had family. I didn't really need that. But a lot of dudes that joined the DQs, the Kappas, the Alphas, they're seeking love and brotherhood. That's what they mean traditionally. You don't have a solid brotherhood in the foundation. You join this organization. You don't have a solid foundations in hood. You join the Crips. It's the same thing. Young men are seeking for an outlet, of like-minded brothers where they can lean upon and have a relationship with that they don't normally have. We are seeing King do this in real time, and we act like we don't understand. But the question we all need to ask is, number one, when does money and parenting really matter? Number two, when is it okay for a child to have a disagreement with a parent and the parent must listen? Number three, you can live anywhere. How do you raise successful, proper children? Number four, even though I have a disagreement with you, when do I have a voice as a child? When can I express it? When my parents feel comfortable? When they say I can speak? Or do I allow myself as an individual to speak my mind no matter what? Because if I can only speak when you find it appropriate, how is that a love relationship? If I can only say, Mama, I disagree with you at this time when you feel comfortable, how's that a loving relationship? That man spoke his piece at an uncomfortable time, at an uncomfortable moment. But the truth has no feelings attached. The truth cannot be avoided. The truth cannot be discussed. The truth will always come to the light. We can hide it. We can manipulate it. We can avoid having this conversation. But what we cannot do is not address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that young man needs therapy. That young man needs help. That young man needs opportunity. And finally, everybody joking on King, but is anybody asking, what if he's right? What if everything he said was valid? What if everything he meant has some validity to it? Would you then understand that, one, we can no longer know a young man's feelings? We can't. That's why we have young men doing things crazy, shooting up, doing things, because we ignore their feelings. They have the right to feel too. And number two, the street guy complex. When does that transition to go to fatherhood? Because I know it's uncomfortable to say, I do not know many street dudes that are great fathers. I didn't say all. I just said majority of them do struggle to pivot towards fatherhood. They do. You show me some, you show me a mass number. I don't know many. They live a certain lifestyle, they live a certain way. They struggle to transition to what the kids needs and putting the kids first. Coming at you next time, King Harris deserved to have his time. I'm not agreeing with everything the young man said or did. All I'm saying is that there's always three sides to every story. There's the parent side, there's his side, and the truth. Everything he said cannot be a lie. Even though he don't know how to control his feelings, that does not mean he does not need to have a voice. That's my take on the Harris family situation. They all need help, y'all. They all need love, and the elders need to step in, because the way the situation is going, they're all seeking love and understanding through the wrong reasons. I'm not here to judge anybody in the family, but all I know is that the ideologies are off. If the father and son do not have unity, how will the Harris family continue to grow? You should honor your father as much as you can. Father, you should give your son something to honor. There should be love, mutual understanding, and most importantly, boundaries. Tell me the boundaries you see. Make sure, I'm so glad you got to check in. Drop your opinion below, man. Who was wrong? Is King wrong for speaking how he felt? Was T.I. wrong for putting his hands on his 18, 20-year-old son? I don't know. I had my opinion. Hopefully you can give yours. I'm just here to give you a different perspective. Until next time. Peace.